Good morning, good evening, good night. Welcome to the Dear Love Podcast. You can catch us at Apple Podcasts, Spotify, YouTube, Listen Notes, Podbean, Google Music, all that good stuff. You already know how this go. Let's get right into it. One thing our parents never really taught us growing up was, well, at least for mine, is that you are going to really have to watch out for a lot of people who are not as trustworthy as you would think. A lot of people who don't really take care of business the way you would. So a good lesson would be like, don't expect everybody to eat like you. Don't expect everybody to speak like you. Don't expect everybody to go as hard as you would go for a cause. And everybody's not going to believe in everything that you talk about. Whether it's good, whether it's bad, it's always going to be vice versa to somebody else. So, what's good for you will definitely be bad for somebody. Then I started to think about little quotes that he would always say, like watching TV, and what is it? One person's trash is another person's treasure and things like that. I was just thinking about like a whole bunch of quotes this week. Just watching a lot of memes for real. And I usually don't meme watch like that, but a lot of them caught my interest this week. But that certain meme is so true though. But it don't always have to be in the physical or like a boyfriend or a girlfriend. I think on the mental side of things, how something could be somebody's treasure. And another thing I thought about going into this podcast is we as a people, and that's everybody, are ridiculous. Because I think the only thing that obviously makes us different is skin color, but I still think we're all the same. We're all humans. We go to the bathroom, we have to eat. So we're all the same. Why is it that, let's say you go through a drive-through, right? Let's just use Burger King. Let's say Burger King, right? I remember when those nuggets first came out. And I remember the commercials were running and everybody was, oh my God, the nuggets. Now, it's just so funny to me how we mad when something don't cost a lot. Because I think it was 10 nuggets for like $1.50. So it's like we are so upset when something is wrong, or not wrong, but when something is too cheap. But then if it's too much, we still complain. Now, if the nuggets was 10 for $11, we would complain. But it's just something about it being so cheap. Like I went to the gas station and they were giving away pizza. I think they said buy a slice of pizza and you can get the second one for 50 cents. So people had a problem with that. Oh, what's wrong with the pizza? Is it old? Did somebody do something to it? And it's like, geez, like why can't they just want to give away pizza? Now, don't get me wrong. I thought about that too. Like, why are they trying to give away this pizza for 50 cents? Just didn't make a lot of sense to me. But we always do that. If something don't seem right or seem out of the norm, like again, something being too cheap, we definitely got a problem with it. Dear Love, episode 52. I've always watched certain movies and watched people just in general in the public do little games like, hey, do you trust me? Then the person to turn around and try to catch the person falling. They have to spread their arms out and fall back, and you got to hope the person catches you and things like that. That's kind of how life is to me, especially at this point in my life. I'm 30 years old now, and I just feel like I've seen like the young crowd and I'm seeing the older crowd now. And the way people come up, trust is not even a factor anymore. Loyalty is not even a factor anymore. And a fact is, family is the one that will backstab you. I mean, you got some friends who will come through way quicker than family. And I think how today's world is set up, that scares a lot of people. So now when you get a lot of things or you do a lot of things, you don't even want everybody to know. I remember when I was coming up, I wanted to be a rapper so bad, and I wanted, my peoples asked me, they said, do you want the fame or do you want the money? And I think I said fame. And he said he wanted the money, but again, he was older, and this is when I was younger. So, and I think that's what kind of conflicts us nowadays. We want the fame part, and as long as people can see that, we think the fame part transitions into money coming in, and it don't. I would rather have the money now that I'm a little bit older, because again, with the rapping stuff, I'm like, man, I want to be seen all over the world. I want everybody to know my music. But if it doesn't transfer into dollars, then who cares if you know my music? So I look at a lot of like the indie artists, and we always sit back and say, oh, they ain't doing nothing, they ain't making no noise, but they're making a lot of money on the underground scene. Tech Nine, one of the biggest indie artists ever, makes so much money underground. I remember Nipsey Hussle was, indie for a while, made a lot of street money as far as, selling the CDs and things like that. You gotta do it like that because, again, the trust level is different now. You don't want to be too famous because now people aiming for your head because people so upset about what you got going on or what you doing. Because you know how it is. I want to know how your life is more than my life is. And I guess that comes from people saying, well, hell, I know my life is messed up in some kind of way, so let me mess somebody else's up. And I never really understood that, though. Like, if I'm doing my thing, I don't really care what you doing. It's like tunnel vision. I'm looking straight ahead. I don't have time to like veer to the right, all in your lane, or veer to the left in this person's lane. I'm looking straight ahead. So it really don't even matter what that person doing. Even when I was writing my music, I didn't really care when nobody else's sounded like. I knew what how I wanted mine to sound. Same with the podcast. I don't care what yours sound like. I might listen to it and enjoy it, but I got to give you the real me. So therefore, you know what you get in that face value. And again, it comes down to, like I said, what do you want? You want rich or famous. Sometimes you can't be both. So now that I'm at the age I'm at now, I think I really would take the money. I would have to take the money because, again, a lot of people knowing me don't really transition into anything. Like I said, a lot of people can know me. I could have thousands of people outside of my door every day. But if that doesn't translate into money, then it really doesn't matter. But again, we watch these TV shows and we feel like that's where we need to be. Take TLC, for instance. Hit records, man. All across the board, everybody knew their name, but they had a bad deal, so they weren't really getting the money like they should. And usually it's rare. I know it don't seem like it, but it's rare that you get both. You know what I mean? So again, we look at our family members and our friends, and you hear people say, "Well, I'm hood famous" or "I'm hood rich." What is that? What is hood rich? Like, what's the number, or what's the amount of money you gotta have to be considered hood rich? And what's the type of popularity you gotta have to be hood famous? I mean, famous is famous, rich is rich. So again, I know it's cool to be known in your city and all of that, but again, if you don't never really make it past that, then what are we really doing? You know what I mean? And that goes back, again, that ties back into trust and being loyal, because some of us would be loyal to the wrong thing. And now we only doing certain things to get what we want. So I see you making a lot of moves out here. So genuinely, I'm supposed to care, right? But I don't. I just want to see what I can get out of the deal. And that's what a lot of people do. Again, that's what I'm starting to see on the younger side, I guess. It used to be like that when I was coming up, but now it's really bad. Because again, these kids don't have all the things that, well, they actually have more. So we didn't have all of the things that they have growing up. The different shows, and again, YouTube wasn't around. And there's so many things you can even learn on there. But it just makes you kind of hold your stuff a little bit closer than you usually would. Again, if I'm running a business, I don't want everybody to know that I'm running a business. You know, nowadays, everything is kind of keep it on the low. Everything is keep it on the low. Hell, you got some relationships now. It's like keep it on the low. Just don't want everybody in your mix. You don't want everybody in your business. Because now people, if they see you got money, they asking for it. You know, if they see you in a relationship, they want to know who the guy is or who the girl is. How are they treating you? Are you guys married yet? How is he in bed? How is she in bed? You know, all of these, like, it just turns into an interview automatically. So you do get a lot of people now to just say, you know what? I'm going to just stay to myself with every single thing that I do. Now it's to the point where we don't even tell our partners how much the checks are. It's like, hey, are you on my side? Just not enough trust, not enough loyalty going around, man. You can't trust nobody. Your own brother, your own sister, hell, your own mother. Everybody want to keep everything to themselves now. When I was coming up, I used to be able to tell my friends and stuff everything, man. Look at this new toy I got. Now you tell somebody about a toy you got, they might steal it. They might take it. Now you got to watch who you let in your house. Well, you always should watch who you let in your house. But now you really got to pay attention to who coming in your house. You got to pay attention to who's coming around your kids. You can't trust anything. Look at what the preachers are doing. Look at the teachers, you know, messing with the kids and stuff. You just can't trust anything now. So everything is really kept on the low. Hell, even marriages. Now you got people getting married in the bathroom. We getting married in my kitchen because I don't need a big thing. I don't need a big situation. And people just talk too much. People do too much. So that's where I'm at with it. So honestly, you have to decide. Do you want to be rich or do you want to be famous? And the bad part about it is you don't have forever to think about it. So you better think about it pretty quick. Dear love, T. Shaw, I'm out of here.